here! Finally, after a very, very long break. It feels like it's been forever. I think the last video I uploaded was end of December 2018. This is my first video of 2019, which is bloody crazy considering it's the date of recording this particular part is March, so yeah, it feels mental. I've done, not as much brewing as I normally would do. I think I've done 2 brews so far this year. The first one I decided not to brew, I decided not to record. It's an Imperial Stout, which is conditioning at the moment. This one here, this video brew day that you're going to see, obviously my second one, which I did in February. I'm just getting ready to do my third one, which is March. So yeah, here's the brew that I did on that day, which you're going to see the brew day for soon, is this thing here. So it's a brew that I've made up myself. It's a double IPA, New England IPA, using a whole load of hops that I've got. Main one is Galaxy, and because of that I decided to call it In a Galaxy Far, Far Away. I've since renamed it. On Facebook there's a very well-known brewer called Steve Ogden, who is Heathen Brewing, or Heathen Brewery, and he did a black IPA recently, which he called In a Galaxy Far, Far Away, and he's done a version 1 and a version 2, so obviously he's had the name for a while. But also, it was a black IPA, and I felt it fitted that name really well, like stars and the night sky and all that kind of stuff. So I felt it fitted it more, fitted it better. Anyway, so I've decided to call this particular brew Galaxion. It's a New England IPA, double New England IPA, with Galaxy hops. So let me just quickly go through the grain bill, because I don't think I go through it in detail in the actual brew video. So what I have here is 6 kilograms of Golden Promise, 1.5 kilos of wheat malt, 1 kilo of carapils, 1 kilo of oat flake oats. That's the grain bill. Then the hop bill, which I definitely don't go through much detail in the video. I do for the brew day, but not for the dry hopping. So I've got 10 grams of Magnum going in at 60 minutes, 40 grams of Cascade going in at 15 minutes, and 40 grams of Chinook going at 15 minutes. And then I dry hop, which I've got no video for. I didn't film that at all, because it's quite a boring thing watching someone chuck some hops into their fermenter and closing the lid. Not very exciting. So I had 100 grams of Galaxy, 70 grams of Huel Melon, which I was a bit worried about, because last time I used Huel Melon I wasn't that impressed with it. I know other people have used it before and said it's a funny hop that needs to be with other stuff, so I was hoping it would be okay. And 30 grams of Equinox. I've brewed this 4 weeks ago now, so I've done the 2 week fermentation. I've now had it conditioning for 2 weeks, and it is ready to drink. Now, I had a little accident with this particular beer. I'm hoping that it pours okay today. Yesterday when I poured it, it was overcarbed to hell. The head that was being formed was mental, and the bubbles that were going up the side of the glass were just crazy. Absolutely just streams of bubbles. The reason being that what I normally do with my kegging to, when I keg, I will let it sit for a week, and then I chuck it when it's ready to go in the fridge, like when my other beer runs out, or when it's or when it's ready to go in. I'll stick it in the kegerator. I will put the gas on, and I'll put the gas up to 40 psi and leave it for a day. And then I'll put it back down to serving pressure, and then leave it for a few days before I start drinking it. This one, I put it on 40 psi on Sunday. I went to start drinking it yesterday, and it was still on 40 psi. So for nearly a week, it had been on 40 psi. So obviously it was well overcarbed. So when I discovered what was wrong, I've turned the gas off, released all the pressure inside the keg, and left it overnight. This morning I went to it, there was a bit of pressure that built up from the carbonation for the gas inside the beer, released the pressure, let that out. A few hours later when I did the same thing, let it sit, and then I've only just turned the pressure back on, and I've put it on to, it's on at about 5-6 psi at the moment. PSI? Yeah, PSI, I'm sure that's right. So yeah, it's I'm keeping it low. I'm just really hoping that it doesn't go crazy. So I'm going to pour myself one. You guys sit and watch the brew day, which actually went really well. It was a nice smooth brew day. You sit at the brew day. When the brew day's over, I'll hopefully be here with a nicely poured beer with an adequate amount of head and not too carbonated. But yeah, enjoy the brew day. See you in a sec. Okay, just getting ready to dough in. So we got here, strike water is up to temperature 74 degrees. Looking for a mash of 66 degrees. We have our grain mill here, so really simple grain mill. This is a double IPA, so quite a lot of grain, but very simple. We got 6 kilograms of Golden Promise, 1.5 kilograms of wheat malt, 1 kilogram of dextrin malt, and 1 kilogram of flake oats, which you can see just here, sort of like flaked oats. I'm not too worried about, you know, the flaked oats causing a stuck sparge. You know, they're you know, what we got, 6, 7, 8, 9, they're like 10% of the grist, so it's not, I don't think it's going to cause a problem with a stuck sparge. And then I've got my water additions here. So I've got what is it? I've got 10 grams of calcium chloride, 6 grams of Epsom salt, and 1.5 grams of normal sea salt. I come from, like, you use Thames water, so from the London area. So we've got quite hard water around here, so it's just something to soften up the water a little bit, but nothing major. There we go, so that goes in. Goes into my mash these days. This thing's different to how I used to. So I'm just going to link everything up to the HLT so I can start pumping the water into the mash tun. So I'm just going to get all that ready, and then we'll give that a go. Okay, so doughing in's finished. As you can see here, we have a nice sticky looking mash. I should really have showed you the, you know, the underletting process. We've got a temperature here of 65 degrees. I'm just about to see that. 64 degrees, so it's just slightly lower than I want it to be. Not a big problem. I've got 16.4 litres of water that's just gone into the HLT, so this is getting ready to heat up to 75.6 degrees Celsius to act as the sparge water. Of course, once this has kind of reached about 70 degrees, I'm going to chuck in my Hermes coil and start recirculating the mash so I can bring the mash up to, you know, up to the 66 degrees that I need, and then also ready to, I'm going to mash out at about 69 degrees. So yeah, you know, I'm going to sit and wait now for half an hour. You know, mash is on, HLT's on, all ready to go. Let's go make myself a cup of coffee. Boom! Okay, so I've got the recirculation started. This is the first bit of runnings of the recirculation. So I've got my flow coming out of the mash tun turned down to quite low, pumps on full. I've got the flow controls for the the Hermes coil just on full, and I'm just running it straight into the mash at the moment. I always find that the beginning of the run-ins for the recirculation usually have bits of grain in them, so when I put it through the actual spray ball, which is what I've got on the lid, which I will connect to shortly, I find that fills up the grain, clogs up the holes, and then it becomes a bit of a problem. So I'm going to leave this to just run for a few minutes, stop it, connect it to the lid, and then I will leave it to run for another half an hour. Okay, so I've connected the hose to the lid, so we've got connection to the spray ball, as you can see now. Nice spray coming out of the spray ball, nothing too fierce. Got the flow control turned down slightly so it's not too mental. Temperature's dropped a little bit, we've gone down to 62.8, so I'm going to let just quite drop, but that's probably me taking the lid off for a little while. So I'm going to let this come back up to temperature while running through the Hermes coil, and then let it run for another half an hour. Cool, so we have been running off now, we've been recirculating, we've been recirculating now for half an hour. You can see the actual, woo, steamy as fuck. We'll just wipe that. There you go. Alright, so as you can see, the liquid is coming out really clear now, so you know the filtering has happened. We're up to a good temperature. I'm going to swap everything around so that we have the hose coming out of the mash tun going into the boil kettle. We have the strike water going through the pump so that it goes back through the Hermes coil, in through the top, and I'll change this for the spa jar. So let me just swap all that around and then we will come back to start running off. Okay, so we're running off. We have so we have hot water coming through the spa jar. Just trying to get that. Just turn that off when I don't need it. That's it. So we've got a little bit of liquid at the top. Steamy. Yeah. So I don't know. Just going to wait for this to run off for a bit. You know, take 20 minutes or so, half an hour, and then get it boiling. You know, pretty simple, isn't it, really? Cool. Okay. Okay, so we have the last remnants here just running off into a fermentation bucket. As you can see, grains are going to be looking nice and dry in there. So we have over here, what's that, about 29 litres I think at the moment. I'm just waiting to come up to boil. So yeah, just let this, is probably going to be, I don't know, a litre or two that's going to come off there, so probably bring me up to about 31 litres, which is perfect. And then once we're up to boil, we'll start getting ready to put in our first hop additions. Okay, we're getting up to hot break. Yeah, it's looking nice and full. Look at that lovely protein on the top. Oh yeah, looking good. I just want to stand here, get ready. Ooh, steamy! That's better. I just want to stand here and get ready, just in case it all kicks off. But any minute now, I'm going to chuck in. Actually, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to chuck in. We've got here 10 gram of Magnum. So I'm just going to chuck this in. It's only a small amount, so I don't really care. Cool. Let's give that a bit of a stir. Let that boil for 45 minutes, and then at the 15-minute mark I've got a whole load of late edition hops to chuck in. So let this boil for another 45 minutes. Proper rolling boil. Look at that bad boy. Yeah. Rolling boil, still going. I've got 15 more minutes before my next hop addition. I'm going to be chucking in, well, I've got a bag here of 40 grams of Cascade, 40 grams of Chinook, ready to go in about, so steamy today, in about 15 minutes. Okay, so we're now at the 45 minutes of boil mark, so 15 minutes left. We're on our last hop addition, well, second hop addition. Okay, so this is our 40 grams of Chinook and 40 grams of Cascade going in. Let's give that a stir. Oh, and I'm going to go and get the chiller ready and dump that in to sterilise it before we turn off and start cooling down. Woo! Chiller is out. cooling down. See, we've got down to 70 degrees at the moment. We'll let this chill for 10 minutes and then we'll get it in the fermenter. And just like that, we've chilled down to 23 degrees. So time to get this thing in the fermenter. Right, down to temp, so getting in the fermenter. Nice light colour, this looking good. How about that? Nice, simple and easy going brew day, yeah? Everything went well. So, I've just poured myself a beer. After my little story about overcarbing it, let's hope that it's okay. This is what we have. Ta-da! Look at that head. I don't know if you can see, but the carbonation isn't too bad. It's not going mental. I mean, the colour of this beer and the you know, the how opaque it is just beautiful. You know, nice, thick looking, juicy IPA. But yeah, head's mental. So the problem I got is that despite it not being too crazy, the bubbles aren't too mad. It's a nice stream, but it's a soft, gentle looking stream. For some reason, as soon as I start pouring, there's a lot of froth that seems to come out of the tap for the kegerator. I don't know if it's something to do with the length of my line, which is about a 2 metre line between the tap and the actual keg itself, which I think should be okay. But yeah, quite a bit of a head on it, isn't it? Anyway, shouldn't affect the flavour, so let's see what it's like to dive in and have a little taste. Well, first of all, let's give it a smell. So, nose is a little bit bunged up because hay fever's kicked in well early this year, but hey. So I'm getting, yeah, it's very fruity. I mean, obviously I've got the Galaxy hop in there, I've got the Huel melon, there's the Equinox, you know, Equinox passion fruit, you know, Galaxy again, mango passion fruit. And I'm definitely getting that fruity aroma. It's you know, it's like overripe fruit, overripe mango, overripe passion fruit, those kind of smells. Yeah, really nice. And obviously the colour and the you know, the look of the beer is, you know, I'm really pleased with that. It's come out beautiful. I'm really happy with the, you know, how dense it looks. So let's dive in and see what it tastes like. Okay? See if I can get through that head anyway. So. Get it on the tongue as well. So much passion fruit, so much mango. Really juicy. Very slight estery kind of flavour there, but it's very small, very gentle. Not too much. It's quite a clean flavour. A lovely sweetness to it, really nice, kind of almost sticky on the tongue, but the juicy fruitiness is just beautiful, really nice. Oh yeah, I'm really pleased with that. Just hope the carbonation sorts down. Now that I've got a really low PSI, I really hope that the head starts to sort itself out and I don't end up having to have half a glass of head every time that I pour one of these. But yeah, really nice, juicy beer. Very good. Whoops! Let's pick that up. Just knocked over a measuring glass. Yeah, so really nice, really pleased, lovely and juicy. Galaxion New England IPA. Really nice. Fucking lovely. Seriously, it is really nice. Just like, you know, fruit juice with loads of alcohol in it. Really pleased. That's kind of so nice. I'll stick the recipe on Beersmith, and I will put the link below, because that is one worth sharing. It's really, really come out nice. Just when you make it, or if you make it, please don't go sticking the gas on too high, because that was a fucking stupid mistake. Anyway, happy homebrew, guys. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to pour myself another one of these and enjoy it, because this is really, really nice. Have a good one, and see you next time. Bye.